Radical Candor does need to be one-on-one, but it also needs to be your senior leadership teams and your individual teams need to be able to be candid with one another in a group setting as well. Because if you don't have that level of trust where you can have healthy conflict in a group setting, your team is not at a level of trust where they're going to be high performing. They're going to be held back significantly by what they can accomplish because there's not that vulnerability with one another. So again, I really encourage you to check out Patrick Lencioni and the 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. He actually has a workbook. He has a team assessment. All of that can help you figure out where your team is at and that level of trust. There's another book that I have listed on my resources from Mike Robbins about We're All in This Together, and he also talks about healthy conflict. And then there's a podcast on my list as well that's really great because it actually tees up the words for you of how do you have one of those candid conversations, and how do you tee up the conversation at the very beginning so that the person is really set up to listen to what you're about to say.
I just want to rap book titles right now. So one Crucial Conversations is a book that we've used a lot to be able to have, again, the specific mechanics about how to have the dialogue. And then I haven't mentioned her yet and must every time I talk now. Brene, B-R-E-N-E, Brown like the color, talks specifically. She has a book called Dare to Lead, which is all of her work, psychology work, distilled into work formats. But again, the skills necessary to have candor conversations, to have vulnerable conversations from an individual perspective as much as from a team perspective, she walks through. Those skills can be learned. One of the biggest takeaways I've had from her work over time is that it is not something that's innately born within any human. It is a series of things that everyone can learn. And that book literally walks you through how to learn it. So be careful there, right? Take that book into consideration. It also has a workbook. It will delve into things individually that then you have to bring forward and bring out for yourself for candor and purpose. And really, from a leader standpoint, that would be my encouragement, is that you can build within the team. I verbalize quite a bit, especially with new teams now. I tell them, this is a safe space. It is okay for you to tell me anything that you're thinking right now. And I literally verbalizing it starts to change somewhat of the dynamic, that simple statement. There's a lot of other things that you can add behind it, but would highly encourage, and then be real with that, right? Make it the safe space, and you can start developing candor very, very quickly.